3 months ago, I stood before all of you and said I might take a break from YouTube because I was exhausted, I was burnt out, I was tired, and I needed a break. A month and a half ago, I came out sitting at my breakfast bar and I told everyone straight out I was going through anxiety, I was going through depression, I was going through pain both physically and mentally, and I really didn't know what I needed to do, but I knew I needed to find me again. Now, whether it be just a change of regime from, learning about essential oils, just switching up everything about myself, I realized I was going to write my own story. And I've always touted that. And right now, even though it's uncertain times, next chapter, it's on me. See, I started going to the chiropractor, and I was finally wanting to get down to the nitty gritty. What was causing me these pains? What was causing me to lose feelings in different joints and all that? And, sitting down for 10 minutes, I would wake up, my leg would give out because it had fallen asleep without me knowing. I went for blood work, came back fine. Went to dermatologist, came back fine. Went to an ENT throat specialist because of that deep breath I mentioned. Came back fine. The last thing I thought was, what if this is all structural damage? What if I did hurt myself when I was going back to the gym? And serotonin in itself would make sense as to why anxiety and depression goes on. But what you never really learn is, yes, serotonin is produced in the brain, in the stomach, but it's also transmitted up the spine. Now, you look at the spine in itself and your central nervous system as the messengers. Now, if something's wrong and those nerve endings are damaged, the message ain't getting clear to where it needs to get. And since going to the chiropractor, I learned that. We saw my misalignment, we saw my nerve damage, we saw my neck pain, and I've been able to physically feel again. In the sense of my arms aren't falling asleep, there's no pins and needles, no tingling, my legs aren't falling asleep. My neck, I can move without it cracking for the first time in years. And I'm able to lift weights again. I'm able to lift weights in ways I never have. Bending my knees without feeling like I'm going to fall over. Being able to flex my back with having tension to it instead of it feeling like jello and just hitting itself. The chiropractor has done a lot to rebuild me recently, and this is just a little bit of a rant. But this next chapter coming up is going to be the chapter I wanted for so long, because I never knew how bad I was feeling until I realized how good I could feel. I didn't realize the extent of my back injuries, my shoulder injury, my neck injuries, which I've had a bad neck since I was probably 9 years old. Let's be honest, when I sprained it, I still to this day swear it never heals properly, or it didn't at the time. We'll see next time I have a neck injury, where if I had neck pain, it would shoot down my arm and it would be there for hours. The only thing that would help is icy hotting the shit out of it. And I don't want to curse on my videos, but that's really what it was. Now, since learning the wonders of chiropractics, since learning the wonders of post-physical therapy, of being able to test yourself with little weights just to see the difference, being able to lean on a chair and my full back laying against the cushion instead of being slouched forward like I always was, I'm coming to finally become the person I was trying to be. The fact that finally we are hitting little different things that was stopping me. And I think the biggest thing that I'm learning about this is it is possible to reach my goals. And that's why starting now, this is mine again. everything I want to do physically, I've seen my arms get bigger just from being able to work out properly again. I see myself lifting in forms I was never able to do because I would always compensate and throw my back into it. You know, what the chiropractor said to me is he thinks for so long I had underlying issues that the rest of my body was just trying to compensate for. And I didn't really notice it until it became to the point where the compensation became apparent. You know, I knew I had neck issues. I knew I had back issues. I would sit for 5 minutes and my lower back would get sore. That's all gone now. Tomorrow, we start full-on weightlifting again. We start full-on yoga again. And dude, the moment these gyms reopen, it's game over for everyone who ever doubted me. Because at this point, I can move my hip better than I have in years. I was never able to really, if you guys know yoga, do Road Warrior 3 with getting that leg all the way up. This side was fine. This side not so much. And now I can. So what this is telling me is physically, my physical limitations have been lifted in a sense of what we know was an issue, it's not going to be anymore. And a lot of my physical limitations led to my mental limitations of not believing in myself, and the fact that I know now I could do things I couldn't do a month ago, and I just thought it's how my body was meant to be, but that's really changing now. I want you guys to keep watching, and the first change you're gonna see is hopefully this week I end up getting a haircut, because this needs to go. But the second change is you guys are gonna see me get back to that weight I want to get to, hopefully, at least fat wise. I want to get back down to 165, but keep the muscle and keep the form that I had, in the sense of not workout form, because that sucked, but the form of, you know, being at least a little stocky now. And that's my first goal. Now I want you guys to continue watching this journey, and I want to thank everyone that stood with me through this. Everyone who saw my depression, saw my personality change when I wasn't feeling good, when just things were acting up. And now, I may seem a little cocky here, but we're going to do this. And we're going to do this together. I want you guys to see me do this. I want you guys to watch me achieve the things I have been talking about, that for some reason or another, injuries, mental anxiety, something changed. But together, here, we're family. I did my my detox with you guys when I was trying to lose weight. I was able to semi-do that. But I got really good in the gym. And I'm seeing, like I said, I mentioned, I'm seeing myself lift better than I have. So I can only imagine when we go back to these full-on workouts tomorrow, and when the gym opens, I'm going to be able to get in the shape I wanted to get in, because I had issues that I didn't know were as big as they were. And that's changing. So guys, together, we're going to become stronger, and we're going to build each other up. That's what we do here. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, guys, I'll check you out later. Have a good one. Stay safe with all this uncertainty in the world. And let's get stronger. Bye.